Okay, here we go. This is basically a final completion video of my 180-gallon aquarium setup. The 180-gallon aquarium I did not build, and the 50-gallon sump I did not build. Just the tank portion. Everything else I did put together myself. I have an overflow box that runs the entire depth of the tank. This was my first attempt at doing any type of plumbing or really any filtration with the tank. So as you can see, the grates in the overflow box are not all level. You know, they're not all properly, like, equally spaced and stuff like that. So it's not super professional, I guess you'd say. It was, like I said, this is my first attempt at doing anything as far as making my own filtration system and putting it all together. I try to get the silicone seams and everything as proper as possible. What's in there right now is some ceramic media. Just use that. I have it thrown in there so if I ever want to cycle another tank, I can take those out and just flop them in the tank and have an instant cycle. It's kind of like almost like charging a battery, I guess you'd say. I just have it ready so I can cycle any tank. So it comes to the overflow box. I got a small piece of coarse media here going into some drains just for silencing. I just have caps with two small air tubes in them. Tried a bunch of various different ways to silence this, including a complete siphon. Everything was just incredibly, I guess, difficult for me being such a beginner on this that I couldn't get anything really going. Like the siphon, I could never get tuned perfectly. It would always eventually pick up to a point where it would overflow. So I couldn't get the complete siphon down to a perfect science. So this ended up being the easiest method. Most of this stuff, like these caps and these pipes, are from Menards. These are actually for these tubes. They're pre-cut tubes for outdoor sprinkler systems. They still use PVC 80 tubing, but they're pre-cut lengths. So it was just kind of easier because I didn't have to cut any tubing. Same with these length tubings. They're just pre-cut lengths for the garden sprinkler system. The bulkheads that I have here, all the piping here is Schedule 80. So I thought it looked better than the white stuff, and it is more durable. Not that should be an issue anyhow. These bulkheads were the more expensive option bulkheads. I got them from bulkreefsupply.com. Their failure rate is almost nothing, so I just spent the little bit extra money to get them so I could put them in and never have to worry about them again. Then I have some valve gate controls here. These are also from Bulk Resupply, and they're the more expensive option. They just have a smoother operation. They're coupled, so you can take them apart nice and easy. And you know, if I need to, I can take this whole upper or lower section off without messing with any of the seals. So I liked them. Spent more money on them. The operation on them is real smooth, real fluid. It doesn't seem cheap, and it doesn't seem like a crappy design. So I like the feel of them better. So then I just have some easy tubing. Tubing goes down. Let me see if I can get some light on in here, if that helps. Tubing comes down and into my filter system. Now what I have going on right here is a gravity fed fluidized sand filter. Move to a different angle here. If you can see that, got the two pipes coming down. This is just a sheet of acrylic that I bored a couple holes in and put just a coupler in there to kind of squeeze together on between the top and the bottom, so it just pinches down the acrylic to form a seal. And then the pipes obviously go in, gravity fed with the air agitates the sand, causes the fluidized sand bed filter. Those are just two Jagger heaters. I threw them in there just because it's kind of out of sight, out of mind place for it. And then all this right here are designs to keep the sand in place. I went through kind of a bit of a learning curve on that, trying to figure out how to not push all the sand directly out into the rest of the refugium. So this was one of the best options that I came up with. I have another design that when I build another one I'll do, but for now this works. The other design is just it's more forking this way. But what I got set up here works. Any bubbles, like any big bubbles that would carry a lot of sand up, the sand will come up, the water will flow this way, hit the top. The water does not spill over on the top there, so the sand would just hit and fall back down. Any large bubbles that would hit this will also roll up, the sand will just fall back down. Any sand particles carried by just the force of the flow going in this direction will have to overcome this slant and then overcome a degree turn and then overcome this slant and then overcome. So basically the sand just has all these opportunities for gravity to take over and pull it back down before flowing into the next portion of the filter system. Then when the water falls over, this is just for more aeration, even though I don't really need it. There's plenty of oxygen getting into the water with just the overflow box, but I have more waterfall here, so it oxygenates even more. Going down into a bedrock filter. This sand is just really cheap. I want to mention the sand here is just pool filter sand. It's way cheaper than getting any type of fish filter sand or anything from a pet store. Just go to a Menards, or if you have a local pool and spa place, and get pool filter sand, gigantic 50-pound bag for a couple bucks. You just can't go wrong. Same with the rocks here. The bedrock filter that I have, I got it at Home Depot. Gigantic bag, like 50 pounds, 25 pounds, something like that, for $3. You go in for a 5-pound bag at your pet store and it's going to cost you like $15. So it's just a better option. Just wash it thoroughly, very thoroughly. It's pretty dirty stuff. I have a specific level here of bedrock. This level is for two reasons. Reason number one is the piece of acrylic that I have going up and down here. If I lose power or do anything, this side of the tank will drain, and this side will not. So there's a lot of water pressure pushing down this acrylic, and acrylic is very strong. It's not going to break, but it'll bend without any problem. So it puts a lot of stress on these silicone seals. So this rock bed actually helps push back on that stress, and it just relieves from the water pressure. The other reason for this level is I put a small amount of bio balls in here for some more biological filtration. And with the way it's set up and the angle, I have a fluidized bioball system going. So as you can see, there's no clogs or places where it gets locked up. It just has a nice fluid motion. So the water passes through all this filtration down through the bedrock and then back up. I have a piece of coarse media here. It's nice and brown. They start out pearly white. I've taken that out and rinsed it several times to get the stuff out of it to where it's just a nice brown, good bacteria-filled piece of media. Then we go into the refugium part itself. Let me try and get a better angle on it here. Scooting along on the floor. Should be able to turn off the light here. This is well lit. Oh, maybe not. Okay. So I got a small mix of plants here. I wish I could tell you what they all are, but these fern-looking plants here are labeled differently every pet store I go to, and the same plant, same leaf. So I don't know if there's just a minor difference in the species that you can't pick up by eye, or if they're just mislabeled at the pet stores. So I really have no idea on that one. Oh, there we go. I just had to focus in. I have some, I think that's moneywort, and then some of that fake, no, not fake, but some of that bamboo stuff. I know it's not, I say fake because it's not actually bamboo, but everything in here is growing splendidly. I started out with just, a very small, short amount, and within a month, this place was just exploding. As you can see, I have a light just driving right down on top of them, giving them plenty of food, plenty of light. Also in there, I have a thermometer probe. I have the probe in the refugium because when there is some kind of issue, this small amount of water is what heats up the fastest. So, and I had ghost shrimp in here at one point to kind of keep bacteria levels down as well, and going through some issues and some water changes and whatnot without a thermometer in there. This place, the light and everything else would just cook this water and it would kill everything off. So there's no longer any ghost shrimp in there. I have a medium-sized pleco and 2 Chinese algae eaters, and they keep this thing completely clean to the point that I don't have to use my magnetic scraper at all. That's sat there for just weeks now. I just don't touch it at all. They keep this place completely clean. So then the water flows through another piece of coarse media. I'm not real fond of this media for this application right here, but I don't really know what to put there instead, because I don't like, there's a water level difference here. If you can see the water level here and the water level here, because of the pressure of going through that media, I don't like that. I would like both of these water levels to be the same, because I also have heaters in this area, and I just don't like the water levels being different. Now these are my 2 marks for max and min. Basically, if it's on min here, it's going too low on the heaters for the heaters to work properly. Anything above max and I lose power, and the back feed will just raise it up too high. So yeah, so for right now, I don't really know what to put here for the media. Just using this coarse material here, and just for lack of a better option. Oh my goodness, I just realized how tall these bamboo plants are getting. They're touching the bottom of the damn aquarium. They were about this high when I got them, so they have really grown. So come down to a pump. This is what is it, like a mag drive, I think, pump. It's not the Eheim one, but apparently the Eheim is supposed to be just like super quiet. This has got a little bit of a noise to it, but amongst all the waterfall and the overflow, You don't, in the drains, you don't hear the pump. So, I mean, if I get right in here with my ear, I can hear the pump, but I don't sit there with my ear inside a cabinet, so it's quite enough for me. And they have the same reputation as Eheim as far as being bulletproof, so that doesn't bother me either. The different size heaters were just heaters that I had from various aquariums before I built this, so I used them instead of buying new ones. And these two heaters, this one and then the one that's on the slant there, and then the two Jaggers in the front of the filter that I showed you earlier, are able to heat this 180-gallon aquarium with a 50-gallon refugium. So you got the pump. There's the line out to the back. We'll scoot around to the back here. Okay, there is the pump line going up. I have another